Hey y'all, what's going on? What's going on? I am on my way to work. Yes, in this late evening. I work overnights, and yes, I love it. A lot of people, when I tell them I work overnight, they be like, I don't see how you do it. I think everybody's just used to the typical 9 to 5, and I hate that shift. I'm not a morning person, and I don't want to be in nobody's face in the morning, and I don't want nobody in my face in the morning. I'm going to be a bit grumpy. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the importance of being secure in yourself. It's so important. Now, granted, everybody has insecurities. I made a whole video about how I was insecure about having facial hair and having had it for a long time and going to invest and going to get it removed because it started to affect the way I felt about myself and how I knew other people were looking at me, knowing that other people were seeing this as well. But you know what the key word is? Invest. Now, insecurities are not always something that you're going to invest physical monetary money in. Sometimes you're going to invest the time to do the inner work, to do what you can to change whatever it is that's holding you back in any area of your life, whether it's money, your looks, your relationships. I'm definitely going to get into that one because I'm sorry, I'm tired of people being so insecure that they hold on so tight to certain relationships because they're not secure within themselves. But anyways, sometimes it's going to be sacrifice. You're going to have to give up certain things, people, and ideas that are causing the insecurity. Okay? For me, a lot of my insecurities came from how I viewed myself, my worth, and my value. A lot of that stuff wasn't pumped up into me growing up, and that's very important. Like, if you're a mother watching this or a father watching this, it's very important to speak life into your children. Most children already come out with a sense of confidence and knowing of themselves, but it's up to us as the adults to kind of reinforce that because it's going to affect them in life, growing up into being a teenager, into young adulthood, into adulthood. So it's very important. So a lot of us didn't get that. So a lot of us had to grow up with insecurities about whether it's our physical appearances, our abilities to succeed in our careers, relationships. Some people grew up in really codependent relationships with their mothers, fathers, or whoever they were raised by, whoever they came up with. So a lot of that stuff comes into how your relationships play out in the future. You're codependent. You can't be on your own. You don't think you'll be successful on your own. You think you won't be able to take care of yourself on your own. Some people, I would say, mostly like myself, are more the opposite, more hyper independent. And I'm in a phase in my life where I'm learning to balance that out because you cannot do everything by yourself. But I do value the fact that because I think it was already in me already to be independent and want to do things on my own, but I think how some of my important relationships played out, sometimes even in an unhealthy way, it made me just not really want to deal with asking others for help or being in groups or doing anything where I had to work with others or ask others, if you will. If I could do it myself, I would do it myself. And I still carry that. But I've turned that into a value. You can turn a lot of these things into values. I think even being hyper dependent, once you heal it and make it a healthy dependence, you can work really well with groups. You can form really good, healthy relationships with others. And I think that's part of where I struggle too, being more on the hyper independent side. So those are just some examples of that. As far as physical appearance, what can you do to make changes? What is it about your physical appearance that maybe wasn't reinforced as being beautiful or acceptable or something that you should love about yourself? How could you change your ideas of that? It takes time. You have to really do the work yourself. Now, what is the work? Sometimes, in my case, if it's possible, it's invested money. You want to make certain changes, invest in it. But if not, you really have to sit with yourself. You have to be like, look, this is who I came to be, and this is just what it is. It's beautiful. And sometimes it takes other people to help you with that. Maybe therapy. Now, I ain't no doctor or nothing like that. I think for me, it was just something that, again, because of that hyper independence, I really had to do the reflection work myself about it. I had to learn to take those things that were not societally, that were not accepted by society, and turn them into my personal power to say, hey, this is what makes me unique. You ever see people that may not be the most attractive in your opinion, and you see them with the highest confidence you'll ever see? You got to turn into that, because everybody's beautiful in their own way. Now, we're not going to be attractive to everybody, but I think that's part of how you help yourself through that as well. You got to find the uniqueness in yourself. That's what I'll say. It's kind of hard to explain what I mean about inner work. And I know it sounds like really cliche. It sounds really like, okay, well, if I don't think I'm beautiful already, how am I going to do this myself? You got to find what makes you stand out about that, despite what others have told to you, despite what others have sold to you, despite what was not reinforced, maybe things you were made fun of, all of that. You're different. You're different from everybody. We are all, I don't know if this is an actual quote or something I read before in the past, but I either read or heard something that said something like, we're all like a fingerprint. Nobody's fingerprint is the same. And that's kind of our soul print as well. Nobody's soul print is the same. And I kind of feel that way about looks too. Nobody is exactly the same. Now, they say everybody got a twin out there. There's somebody out there that will remind somebody of you as far as looks. But anyways, security in yourself. I kind of feel like I kind of went off in a tangent. It all kind of goes together, but the point of the video is being secure in yourself. Being secure in yourself means that nobody can tell you about you but you. Nobody can carry you along in your life but you, if necessary. It's not to say that you shouldn't depend on other people, because we are all interdependent. We are interdependent species. We need to be around others, but you need to be able to stand on your own if necessary. Now, I know this is coming from somebody who just said that pretty much my life was centered and designed around independence. But that helped me build my security so strong to not feel like somebody else gotta validate me. Somebody else gotta validate my looks, my gifts, all of that. Even with work. I also have a video on here that talked about how for a while I didn't know and understand my value when it came to work. Because my skills didn't look like most people's. You know what I mean? My skills weren't something that's like, oh, I went and got a master's in tech or engineering, or, you know what I'm saying? Like some of those real popular jobs where you have to have manual skills, manual experience. What makes me unique is my soft skills, though, which is very much needed in this workforce, especially now. I don't know if anybody is seeing the decline in the services nowadays, but those soft skills are very much still needed and valuable. So in life, there's a lot of things I had to do on my own. A lot of that was sitting with myself. I had to spend a lot of time with myself and heal those things that I felt insecure about. And that's what everybody needs to do. Because from now, when you do that work, you start asking yourself the hard questions. It's all super dark now. You start asking yourself the hard questions about what you don't feel secure about. And you may know the answer to that. But next is, how are you going to answer those questions? What are you going to do about them? Do you really want to change them? Or do you want... I'm really convinced that a lot of people want to stay stuck in certain mindsets. They'll say that, you know, they're not happy with this, they're not happy with that, but they're not actively trying to change it. Being stuck on the same ideas and the things that they're used to. What are you going to do to change them? To have more security in yourself, even if it's uncomfortable. Change ain't always supposed to be comfortable. It ain't always supposed to be easy. But you have to do it. It is so necessary. So, yeah, it was a lot of making the changes to those hard answers. I was asking the questions, I was getting the answers, and I was like, okay, well, what are we about to do about this? Because this is not about the... You just got to get tired enough, I think. You have to get tired enough of the same things to be like, look, something got to give, and not just say it. And not just say it. So, yeah, this was kind of one off the top. It's probably way more I could add to that. I'll probably start like writing down some points to really hit on. But I really wanted to record this because, yeah, I want to see more people, especially my ladies. I think, you know, everybody got insecurities, once again, women and men alike. But definitely for my ladies, I definitely want to see women doing more to take charge of how they view themselves in their lives. I love y'all, but y'all gotta do better. I think a lot of y'all are not even really trying to. I think a lot of y'all are trying to make excuses for yourself because it's what you're used to. As much as you really don't like it, you're not tired enough, or you're afraid of change. And it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Can't nobody make you change. Can't nobody make you do anything different. And this is honestly for like a lot of my close friends too. And I think that's really what inspired this video. Because a lot of people close to me, they, oh, well, I'm going to do work. And oh, yeah, I want change. Da, 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 da. Ain't trying to really change nothing though. Listen. I'm that person where I have empathy. I'm sure that people who can really see, really have the ears to hear. I have understanding for everybody's situation, especially for the fact that I've been there. There's still a lot of work I'm doing. I've been there, but after a while, especially from the work that I've done and the work that I'm doing and continue to do certain things, I'm gonna just be like, look, you talking, what are you doing though? You know, so that goes for everybody. Stop talking. Start doing. Okay? So that's it. That's it. I'll be back with another video at some point. Won't be too long. I think I'm doing pretty good with consistency. So I will definitely check y'all later. Y'all be safe out there. Peace and love, baby.